Elliott wave theory is a form of technical analysis to analyze financial market cycles and forecast market range using high and lower prices. In this chapter, we are going to explore following topics. What is wave? History. 3 core elements. Basic rules. Guidelines. Elliott wave model. Summary. Topic 1. What is wave? In preceding chapter, we learn nothing is permanent means what comes up goes down and what goes down comes up. This is because energy moves in cycles, the cycles of up and down. Guys, this is basic structure of wave. What it has. If you will observe the basic structure of waves, you will notice there is the crests and troughs. The extreme tops, created upward, are called crests, and extreme bottoms, created downward, are called troughs. Notice here that the crests and troughs are created at same level. These extreme points, that is crest and troughs, of wave cycle are nothing but disequilibrium phase. And the lines, slanting upwards and downwards, are an approach towards maintaining an equilibrium. In short, energy always moves in between crests and troughs, that is in between 2 different disequilibrium phases by passing through an equilibrium phase. This means a basic nature of wave is to shift from an equilibrium phase to disequilibrium phase to again an equilibrium phase and continues onward. Hope you are clear up to simple wave model, up and down, crests and troughs, equilibrium and disequilibrium zones. Let us go ahead. In last slide, we had seen a simple horizontal wave model which have all crests and troughs at same level. The same model we are now going to tilt upward. Upward. Yes, like this. Great. Friends, what change this upward tilt has made? Let us get answer. In last horizontal model, we had crests and troughs at same level, but this tilting upward has caused change in levels. Now, every preceding crests is higher than preceding crest, and every preceding troughs also higher than preceding troughs. This is the truth related with prices. As time expands, prices get increased. Then you may take an example of coffee cup cost, which is not same what you paid 10 years ago. For sure, cost increased 2 or 4 folds. Don't you think? The object, that is cup of coffee, is same, but during last 10 years, prices went through some crest and trough, but today higher than price before 10 years. Yes, it is. Now we are a little clearer that, as time expands, prices continuously go through different cycles of up and down, but in ascending angle. Friends, don't you think that up and down, disequilibrium and equilibrium, all are general terms? Yes. These are. So, what specific terminology used in Elliott wave or neo-wave theory? Answer is impulsion and correction, or impulsive wave or corrective wave. Friends, we need to understand these more specific terminologies. Let us understand these specific terminologies. To make you understand these terminologies, I would like to explore 2 different scenarios. Scenario 1. A person, XYZ, is running for 1 kilometer. Is it possible that XYZ person may cover 1 kilometer distance within 2 minutes? Yes. He can, because he is running, means doing fast action. Scenario 2. Same person, XYZ, is walking back the same distance of 1 kilometer. Now, is it possible that the same person will take 10 minutes to cross same distance of 1 kilometer? Yes, he can consume 10 minutes because he is walking, doing slow action. Great. You got an essence. In both scenarios, the distance is same, that is 1 kilometer, but an action running and walking, and time 2 minutes, and 10 minutes are changed. In first scenario, more distance covered in less time, while in second scenario, more time consumed to cover the same or less distance. Keep this point in your mind that more distance in less time and small distance in more time. Now think over the phase of body through which a person is passed. In scenario 1, when XYZ person was running, his pulses turned in impulses. His body was in impulse phase, that's why covered more distance in less time. In scenario 2, when this person was turning back by walk, his impulses will get corrected and were restored in pulse mode again. That's why he spent more time to cross less or same distance. Here impulse phase is disequilibrium and pulse is equilibrium, which is correcting to disequilibrium. Now, in short, impulsion covers more distance in less time, and it is abnormal activity, which, naturally, should get corrected. Correction covers less or same distance in more time. But neither an impulsion nor a correction will sustain permanently. They will rotate in cycles. Let us understand this concept in better way by plotting this activity in waveforms on chart. There is a chart having vertical y-axis and horizontal x-axis. On y-axis, we plotted price vector ranged from 200 to 300 US$ by intervals of 20 units. On x-axis, we plotted the time vector of total 5 months by intervals of 1 month. Now, suppose a normal price move is appreciation up to 238 from 200 after 3 months. This count normal move and shown blue dots line. But practically scenario differs than projection, and up to end of first month, price reached 262. Oh, this is an exciting move of extra $24. It is more than intrinsic value. But in fact, this is an abnormal move. Such kind of fast moves, which travels more distance in less time, are known as trending moves, and most of time, these are in impulsive waves. The base structure, (5), is used to show the impulsive wave. According to law of nature, an abnormal move should not sustain, and naturally the bubble has to burst. As bubble will burst, the extra traveled prices will get corrected. In technical word, an impulsive wave should be followed by corrective waves. Let us see corrective waves. In this theoretical example, now the corrective wave is began from $262 and traveled downward. After consuming 2 months' time, the downward fall has been stopped at price level 238. This corrective move is shown with red lines slanting downwards. Hope. You have noticed, here price had been depreciated by $24, but consumed 2 months, means 2 time units. Guys, have you noticed? There is $62 up move in 1 month with impulsion and $24 down move in 2 months with corrections. Yes, you got the point. Impulsive waves are all about more distance in less time, while corrective waves are all about less distance in more time. Again, more important is that, after 3 months price restored at same level of $238, an intrinsic value, or real valuation, means after abnormal activity, price corrected at normal valuation, according to time scale. Friends, now, this correction phase will also not sustain it will again replace by impulsive wave, and this cycle will continue. Remember, law of nature's 12th law. As masculine and feminine energies are base of all creation, here too, an impulsive and corrective waves are base for creation of larger degree wave and collectively Elliott wave model. Let us look at history of Elliott's wave principle. Topic 2. History. History. This theory was invented by Ralph Nelson Elliott, a professional accountant that lived from 1871 to 1948. He began the systematic study of 75 years stock market data. He then discovered underlying social principles and developed the analytical tools in the 1930s. He proposed that market prices unfold in specific patterns, which practitioners today call Elliott waves, or simply waves. Elliott published his theory of market behavior in the book The Wave Principle in 1938, summarized it in a series of articles in Financial World magazine in 1939, covered his work in most comprehensive way in his final major work, Nature's Laws, The Secret of the Universe, in 1946. Elliott written that, because human is subjected to rhythmical procedure, calculations having to do with his activities and can be projected far into the future with a justification and certainty heretofore unattainable. He proposed Elliott wave model on foundation that collective investor mass psychology moves between optimism and pessimism in natural sequences. These mood swings create patterns evidenced in the price movements of markets at every degree of trend or time scale. Topic 3. 3 core elements. 3 core elements. Elliott's wave theory is based on 3 core points, and they are: 1. Recognition of pattern, that is impulsions and corrections. 2. Fibonacci, price and time relationship, that is 0.618 and 1.618 golden ratio. 3. Science of fractals, that is degrees of waves. Recognition of patterns. Elliott classified market moves in 2 classes, an impulsive waves and corrective waves. Impulsive waves are also called as motive waves. 1. Impulsive wave or motive wave. Impulsive wave is subdivided into 5 smaller degree waves and are labeled with numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Among these 5 waves, wave 1, 3, and 5 are also having impulsive structure. Wave 1 and 3 are separated by corrective waves too. Likewise, wave 3 and 5 are separated by corrective wave 4. 2. Corrective waves. Corrective waves are wave 2 and 4. These waves are separated by an impulsive wave 3. This means wave 2 is retracing back wave 1, while wave 4 is retracing back to wave 3. Corrective waves are subdivided into 3 smaller degree waves. This subdivision is labeled by alphabets like wave A, B, C. Among these 3 waves, the first wave, wave A, is an impulsive wave, wave B is corrective, retracing back to wave A. Wave C is again an impulsive wave, supposed to be divided in 5 waves. Fibonacci price and time relationship, that is 0.618 and 1.618 golden ratio. Elliott developed his market model before he realized that it reflects the Fibonacci sequence. He said, "When I discovered the wave principle action of market trends, I had never heard of either the Fibonacci series or the Pythagorean diagram." Later on, Elliott's analysis of the mathematical properties of waves and patterns eventually led him to conclude that the Fibonacci summation series is the basis of the wave principle. Numbers from a Fibonacci sequence, repeated in Elliott wave structures, including impulsive waves, 1, 3, 5, a single full cycle, that is 8 waves, and the completed impulsive, 89 waves, and corrective, 55 waves patterns. Generally, the Fibonacci ratio is like 0.382, 0.618, 1.618, 2.618 are applied on 2 waves to relate by price and/or time. The 2 waves are either adjacent or an alternate waves. Science of fractals, that is degrees of waves. A repetition of self-similar wave structure inside wave at micro and macro level is known as fractals, and levels shown as degrees. For example, an impulsive wave having same impulsive structure underlying it on smaller scale, while on larger level, again self-similar geometry begins to unfold. Degrees are relative. They are defined by form, not by absolute size or duration. Waves of the same degree may be of very different size and or duration. Grand supercycle degree wave. This degrees impulsive waves are labeled as Roman numerals from 1 to 5 wrapped in square, while corrective waves are labeled as lowercase alphabets from A to C, also wrapped in square. Supercycle degree wave. This degrees impulsive waves are labeled in bracket by using cardinal numerals from 1 to 5, while corrective waves are also labeled in bracket as an uppercase alphabet from A to C. Cycle degree wave. This degrees impulsive waves are labeled in bracket by using Roman numerals from 1 to 5, while corrective waves are also labeled in bracket as lowercase alphabets from A to C. Primary degree wave. This degrees impulsive waves are labeled as cardinal numerals from 1 to 5 wrapped in circle, while corrective waves are labeled as an uppercase alphabet from A to C, also wrapped in circle. Intermediate degree wave. This degrees impulsive waves are labeled as Roman numerals from 1 to 5 wrapped in circle, while corrective waves are writing as lowercase alphabets from A to C, also wrapped in circle. Minor degree wave. This degrees impulsive waves are labeled as cardinal numerals from 1 to 5 surrounded by parentheses, while corrective waves are labeled as an uppercase alphabet from A to C surrounded by parentheses. Minute degree wave. This degrees impulsive waves are labeled as Roman numerals from 1 to 5 surrounded by parentheses, while corrective waves are labeled as lowercase alphabets from A to C, also surrounded by parentheses. Minuet degree waves. This degrees impulsive waves are labeled as cardinal numerals from 1 to 5, while corrective waves are written as an uppercase alphabet from A to C. Subminuet degree waves. This degrees impulsive waves are labeled as Roman numerals from 1 to 5, while corrective waves are writing by using lowercase alphabets from A to C. Topic 4. 3 basic rules. 3 basic rules. There are only 3 basic rules of Elliott wave principle. 1. Wave 2 never erases more than 100% of wave 1. 2. Wave 3 cannot be the shortest of the 3 impulse waves, namely waves 1, 3, and 5. 3. Wave 4 does not overlap with the price territory of wave 1, except in the rare case of a terminal impulse or diagonal triangle formation. Topic 5. Guidelines. Guideline for an alternation. In case of impulsive 5-wave patterns, waves 2 and wave 4 often take alternate forms. For example, if wave 2 formed as simple and sharp, wave 4 will form complex and mild. Guideline for triangle patterns position. Triangle pattern generally forms in position of wave 4, but in rare condition it may form at wave 2 position. Friends, you may have question, what is triangle pattern? Let us give a look on corrective pattern to understand this guideline. I expect, till up to this stage, you got an idea that corrective wave pattern forms in wave 2 and wave 4 place. These corrective patterns are divided in 3 types of pattern, namely zigzag, flat, and triangle. Zigzag pattern composed of 3 smaller degree waves and having internal structure 5, 3, 5. Flat pattern also composed of 3 smaller degree waves and having internal structure 3, 3, 5. While triangle pattern composed 5 smaller degree waves and having internal structure 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Thus, triangle is one type of corrective pattern, and generally it is not forming in wave 2 position, while zigzag and flat patterns forms in both place at wave 2 as well as at wave 4. Friends, now you have enough stuff with you, so we can go forward to understand Elliott wave model in a little detail. Before going forward, remember this is only elusive model in corrective wave position. For understanding purpose, considered only zigzag patterns. Topic 6. Elliott wave model. Guys, we studied 3 pillars of Elliott wave theory, that is 3 core elements, 3 basic rules, and few guidelines. In short, you have enough base to understand Elliott wave model, so let us study Elliott wave model. The basic concept of Elliott wave model is that, on all time scales of trend, market prices alternates between an impulsive and corrective wave cycles. In this wave model, we will use colon 5 to show base structure of impulsive wave and will pronounce it 5, while colon 3 will use to show base structure of corrective waves and pronounce it 3. Let us study Elliott wave model with top-down method. Top-down method means first we will study largest wave cycle and then gradually shift on smallest wave cycle. Then let us begin with largest wave cycle, that is grand supercycle degree wave cycle. Hi, guys. Let us understand Elliott's wave model. Elliott wave model is combination of wave cycles of smallest to largest degree waves. Each wave cycle divided in 2 phases, that is an impulsive phase and a corrective phase. Watch this greenish and reddish rectangle, suggestive of one wave cycle. Greenish rectangle shows area of impulsive phase, and reddish rectangle shows area of corrective phase. Each impulsive phase shown with base structure colon 5, which pronounces 5. Colon 5 means there is again small degree waves inside each impulsive wave, which have base structure series 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. A corrective phase shown with base structure colon 3, which pronounces 3. Colon 3 means there is again small degree waves on small scale, which have base structure series 5, 3, 5. As one wave cycle ends, the structure transforms into larger wave cycle, and previous wave cycles, impulsive wave turns into higher degree wave 1, and corrective wave turn into higher level degree wave 2. This means wave cycle is present from smallest scale to largest scale. These wave cycles, when judiciously studied by combining with 1. 3 core elements, 2. 3 basic rules, and 3. guidelines, gives us an elusive Elliott wave model. Let us see Elliott wave model. The basic concept of Elliott's wave model is that, on all time scales of trend, market prices alternates between an impulsive and a corrective wave cycles. Let us study Elliott wave model with top-down method. Top-down method means first we will study largest wave cycle and then gradually shift on smallest wave cycle. Then let us begin with largest wave cycle, that is grand supercycle degree wave cycle. Grand supercycle degree wave cycle having 2 phases. First phase is impulsive phase, shown with greenish rectangle area and with base structure 5. Second phase is corrective phase, shown with reddish rectangle area and with base structure 3. Friends, now this :5 means there are 5 wave of grand supercycle degree, labeled as Roman numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in square. This will make again larger degree impulsive wave, but as of now, it's not our concern, so we will limit up to grand supercycle degree waves. A corrective phase base label means corrective phase is constructed by 3 grand supercycle degree waves, labeled as lowercase alphabets A, B, and C in square. Every impulse wave of grand supercycle degree, that is wave 1, wave 3, and wave 5, again subdivide in 5 wave pattern of 1 lower degree wave. And every corrective wave of grand supercycle degree, that is wave 2 and wave 4, will subdivide in 3 wave pattern of 1 lower degree. But, opposite to this, in case of corrective phase, the grand supercycle degree, wave A and wave C, which runs downwards, both are considered as an impulsive wave, so both are subdivided in 5 wave pattern, while wave B will be corrective, and it will again subdivide in 3 wave pattern at 1 lower degree. This 1 level lower degree than grand supercycle is called as supercycle degree. Supercycle degree impulsive waves are labeled with cardinal numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, surrounded by brackets. And corrective waves are labeled with an uppercase alphabet A, B, and C, surrounded by brackets. The wave cycle of supercycle degree is shown by this medium-sized green and reddish rectangles. Green rectangle is impulsive phase, and reddish rectangle is corrective phase. Supercycle degree wave also repeats similar design, what present at higher level degree. That is wave 1, 3, and 5 will have 5 wave patterns of impulsive category, and wave 2 and wave 4 will have 3 wave pattern of corrective category. On corrective side, wave A and wave C will divide in 5 wave impulsive pattern, and wave B will divide in 3 wave corrective pattern. The internal subdivision of supercycle degree is known as cycle degree, and it's 1 smaller level degree. This cycle degree impulsive waves are shown with Roman number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, surrounded by brackets, and corrective waves, shown with lowercase alphabet A, B, and C, surrounded by brackets. This cycle degree wave cycle also visible on this chart as small greenish and reddish rectangle area. Let us explore this cycle degree waves and see structure inside it. Guys, you can see similar structure present inside Cycle degree wave. Cycle degree waves are constructed by one-level small degree waves called primary degree. These primary degree waves makes a wave cycle of primary degree, which is composed of impulsive and corrective phases. Greenish, impulsive phase of primary degree is 5 waves pattern constructed by primary degree waves, and these waves are labeled by cardinal numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 enclosed in circle. Reddish, corrective phase of primary degree is 3 waves pattern constructed by primary degree waves, and these waves are labeled by an uppercase alphabet A, B, and C enclosed in circle. Primary degree wave 1, 3, 5, A, and C are impulsive waves and are subdivided in 5 waves pattern at 1 scale lower degree, while primary degree waves 2, 4, and B are corrective waves and are subdivided in 3 waves pattern at 1 scale lower degree. This lower degree is recognized as intermediate degree. Therefore, intermediate degree impulsive waves are shown with Roman numerals 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 enclosed in circle, and corrective waves revealed with lowercase alphabets A, B, and C wrapped in circle. These intermediate degree waves build up an intermediate degree wave cycle, of which impulsive phase has been shown with medium-sized greenish rectangle, and corrective phase shown with medium-sized reddish rectangle. At this point, we can notice that an intermediate degree waves are again subdivided in 1 level small scale, recognized as minute degree waves, which are labeled with Roman numerals 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, fenced by parentheses for impulsive side, and lowercase alphabet A, B, and C, fenced by parentheses at corrective side. Minute degree wave cycle, shown with small greenish rectangle, and corrective phase, shown with small reddish rectangle. Great. Let us see internal structure of minor degree waves. Minor degree waves are composed of 1 level small degree waves, termed as minute degree waves. Minute degree wave cycle is shown with large greenish and reddish rectangle. Greenish rectangle is an impulsive phase of minute degree waves, and these waves are shown by Roman number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 enclosed with parentheses. Reddish rectangle is a corrective phase of minute degree waves, and these waves are shown by lowercase alphabets A, B, and C enclosed with parentheses. Every minor degree wave is composed of smaller degree waves named as minuet degree. Minuet degree wave cycle is shown with medium greenish and reddish rectangle. Greenish rectangle is an impulsive phase, minuet degree waves, and these waves are shown by cardinal numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Reddish rectangle is a corrective phase of minuet degree waves, and these waves are shown by an uppercase alphabet A, B, and C. Minuet degree waves are again subdivided in smallest scale of waves called subminuet degree waves. Subminuet degree wave cycle is shown with smallest greenish and reddish rectangle. Greenish rectangle is impulsive phase, while reddish rectangle is corrective phase. Like this, we have seen that every degree cycle is part of larger degree wave cycle, also contains medium and small degree wave cycles. We also studied each and every wave cycle has an impulsive and corrective phase. Friends, now next important point, that is wave count. Practically speaking, you can notice each chart shows max 4 levels wave cycle. In neo-wave analysis it is called mono-wave, poly-wave, multi-wave and macro-wave. Considering here all levels in one chart, look at wave count bar. You will notice smallest wave cycle of this chart ends at wave count 1 plus 1 total 2. Small wave cycle ends at wave count 5 plus 3 total 8. Large wave cycle will end at wave count 21 plus 13 total 34. And largest wave cycle of your chart will end at wave count 89 plus 55, that is total 144. More keenly, if you will observe, you will find out that smallest to largest wave cycles impulsive phase, ending at wave count 1, 5, 21 and 89. Next observation is corrective phase of smaller to larger wave cycle ends at 1, 3, 13 and 55. All in all, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, and 144 are Fibonacci numbers. Amazing. Okay, friends, now this is time to flash a light on general characteristic and personality of waves. Let us explore over it. General characteristics and personality of wave 1 of bull market. Wave 1 is impulsive, having internal structure of 5, 3, 5, 3, and 5. Wave 1 is rarely obvious at its inception. At the beginning of wave 1, the fundamental news flow is almost universally negative. The previous trend is considered still strongly in force. Fundamental analysts continue to revise their earnings estimates lower. The economy probably does not look strong. Sentiment surveys are decidedly bearish. Put options are in vogue, and implied volatility in the options market is high. Volume might increase a bit as prices rise, but not by enough to alert many technical analysts. General characteristics and personality of wave 2 of bull market. Wave 2 is corrective wave with internal structure 5, 3, 5. Wave 2 corrects wave 1, but never extend beyond the beginning point of wave 1. Typically, the news is still bad during wave 2 formation. As prices retest the prior low, bearish sentiment quickly builds, and the crowd haughtily reminds all that the bear market is still deeply ensconced. Still, some positive signs appear for those who are looking at volume. The volume should be lower during wave 2 than during wave 1. Prices usually do not retrace more than 0.618 of the wave 1 gains. Let's have a look on general characteristic and personality of wave 3. The general characteristics and personality of wave 3 of bull market. Wave 3 should not be smallest wave when compared to wave 1 and 5. Wave 3 is usually the largest and most powerful wave in a trend, but it is not necessary. The news flow is now positive, and fundamental analysts start to raise earnings estimates. Prices rise quickly, corrections are short-lived and shallow. Anyone looking to get in on a pullback feels likely to miss the boat. General characteristics and personality of wave 4 of bull market. Wave 4 is corrective wave having internal structure 5, 3, 5. Prices may meander sideways for an extended period, and wave 4 typically retraces less than 0.382 of wave 3. Volume is well below than wave 3. Wave 4 is often frustrating because of their lack of progress in the larger trend. General characteristics and personality of wave 5 of bull market. Wave 5 is final wave in direction of the dominant trend. The news is almost universally positive, and everyone is bullish. Many average investors buy-in, right before the top. Volume is often lower in wave 5 than wave 3, and many momentum indicators start to show divergences. General characteristics and personality of Wave A of bear market. Wave A corrections are typically harder to identify than impulse moves. In Wave A of a bear market, the fundamental news flow is usually still positive. Most analysts see the drop as a correction in a still active bull market. Some technical indicators that accompany Wave A include increased volume, rising implied volatility observed in the options markets, and possibly a turn higher in open interest in related futures market. General characteristics and personality of Wave B of bear market. Prices reverse higher, which many see as a resumption of the now long gone bull market. Those who are familiar with classical technical analysis may see the peak as the right shoulder of a head and shoulders reversal pattern. The volume during Wave B should be lower than Wave A. By this point, fundamentals are probably no longer improving, but they most likely have not yet turned negative. General characteristics and personality of Wave C of bear market. Prices move impulsively lower in 5 waves. Volume picks up, and by the third leg of Wave C, almost everyone realizes that a bear market is firmly entrenched. Wave C is typically at least as large as Wave A and often extends to 1.618 times of Wave A or beyond. Summary. Elliott wave theory having 3 pillars, that is 3 core elements, 3 basic rules and guidelines. The core elements are pattern identification, Fibonacci relationship, and frattles. 3 basic rules are Wave 2 never retraces 100% of Wave 1. Wave 3 cannot be the shortest of the 3 impulse waves. Wave 4 does not overlap with Wave 1, except in case of terminal impulse diagonal triangle formation. Guidelines are about alternation in between Wave 2 and Wave 4, and about triangle pattern formation in Wave 4. Elliott wave model basically shows wave cycles of different degrees. Each wave cycle made of impulsive and corrective phase. Impulsive phase composed of 5 waves impulsive pattern, and corrective waves composed of 3 waves corrective pattern. Self-similar structure is repeated on larger as well as smaller degree level. This is called as frattles. This nature of wave theory gives it high degree of predictability. Let us study predictability aspect of wave theory with better perspective in remaining part of this course.